You think this is just another day in your life? It's not just another day. It's the one day that is given to you. Today. It's a gift. It's the only gift that you have right now. And the only appropriate response is gratefulness. If you learn to respond as if it were the first day in your life and the very last day, then you will have spent this day very well. Begin by opening your eyes and be surprised that you have eyes you can open. That incredible array of colors that is constantly offered to us for pure enjoyment. Look at the sky. We so rarely look at the sky. We so rarely note how different it is from moment to moment with clouds coming and going. Open your eyes, look at that. Look at the faces of people whom you meet. Each one has an incredible story behind their face. Not only their own story, but the story of their ancestors. All that life from generations and from so many places all over the world flows together and meets you here like a life-giving water if you only open your heart and drink. Open your heart to the incredible gifts that civilization gives to us. You flip a switch and there is electric light. Turn a faucet and there is warm water and cold water and drinkable water. A gift that millions and millions in the world will never experience. And so I wish you that you will open your heart to all these blessings and let them flow through you. That everyone whom you will meet on this day will be blessed by you, just by your presence. Let the gratefulness overflow into blessing all around you. And then it will really be a good day.
Oneness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It is a result of long and patient effort in self-control. Its presence is an indication of ripened experience and of a more than ordinary knowledge of the laws and operations of thought. A man becomes calm in the measure that he understands himself as a thought-evolved being. For such knowledge necessitates the understanding of others as a result of thought. And as he develops a right understanding and sees more and more clearly the internal relations of things by the actions of cause and effect, he ceases to fuss and fume and worry and grieve, and he remains poised, steadfast, serene. The calm man, having learned how to govern himself, knows how to adapt himself to others, and they in turn reverence his spiritual strength and feel that they can learn from him and rely upon him. The more tranquil a man becomes, the greater is his success, his influence, his power for good. Even the ordinary trader will find his business prosperity increase as he develops a greater self-control and equanimity. For people will always prefer to deal with a man whose demeanor is equable. The strong, calm man is always loved and revered. He's like a shade-giving tree in a thirsty land, or a sheltering rock in a storm. Who does not love a tranquil heart, a sweet-tempered, balanced life? It does not matter whether it rains or shines, or what changes come to those possessing these blessings, for they are always sweet, serene, and calm. The exquisite poise of character, which we call serenity, is the last lesson of culture. It is the flowering of life, the fruitage of the soul. It is precious as wisdom, more to be desired than gold, yea, than even fine gold. How insignificant mere money-seeking looks in comparison with the serene life, a life that dwells in the ocean of truth, beneath the waves, beyond the reach of the tempests, in the eternal calm. How many people we know who sour their lives, who ruin all that is sweet and beautiful by explosive tempers, who destroy their poise of character and make bad blood. It is a question whether the great majority of people do not ruin their lives and mar their happiness by lack of self-control. How few people we meet in life who are well balanced, who have that exquisite poise which is characteristic of the finished character. Yes, humanity surges with uncontrolled passion, is tumultuous with ungoverned grief, is blown about by anxiety and doubt. Only the wise man, only he whose thoughts are controlled and purified, makes the winds and the storms of the soul obey him. Tempest-tossed souls, wherever you may be, under whatever conditions ye may live, know this: in the ocean of life, the isles of blessedness are smiling, and the sunny shore of your ideal awaits your coming. Keep your hands firmly on the helm of thought. In the bark of your soul reclines the commanding master. He does but sleep. Wake him. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. Say to your heart, peace, be still. So I just want you to close your eyes and I want you to listen to me. You're going to be totally relaxed, totally relaxed. Just sit and relax. Let yourself relax. You're going to totally relax, totally. Let your body relax. You're going to stay awake. You're not going to go to sleep. And you're going to be totally relaxed. You're going to listen to every word I say. You just listen to my voice. You listen to nothing but my voice. You only hear my voice. Your body is going to remain exactly as it is. You're not going to go to sleep. You're going to be consciously aware of everything I say. It's going to be very clear in your mind, just as the chair under you is clear in your mind. You hear my voice. You hear nothing but my voice, all right? Everything I say is energy that's flowing from me and it's flowing through you. We make a very strong connection. I want you to imagine your whole body moving into a very relaxed state. You're not going to go to sleep. You'll remain upright on your chair. But your body is becoming lighter and lighter. Your whole being is totally relaxed, totally relaxed. I just want you to hear my voice. You hear nothing but my voice. You're letting everything I'm saying flow right into your consciousness. It is the most magnificent feeling. You actually feel the energy flowing into your consciousness. You're so totally relaxed. It's flowing to and through you. I'm going to count from 5 down to 1. Each time I count a number, you're going to let yourself sink deeper and deeper into a relaxed state. You hear every word I'm saying. You hear everything I'm saying. And you're totally relaxed. Totally relaxed. Each time I go down one number, you find your body becoming more and more relaxed. You're totally relaxed. We're going down now from 5 to 4 to 3, and you're sinking deeper and deeper into a relaxed state. You feel so good. Now we're going down to 3 to 2 to 1, and you're so relaxed. You're so totally relaxed. It's a wonderful feeling. I mean, you only hear my voice. You hear nothing but my voice. Now, you and I are going to step on an elevator. And this elevator is going to go down. It's going down. We're on the 10th floor. We're going down to the 1st floor. Each time we go down a floor, your body becomes more and more relaxed. We're going down from 10 to 9, 8, 7. You're becoming more and more relaxed. Your body's lighter, lighter, and lighter. You only hear my voice. You hear nothing but my voice, and you're totally relaxed. We're going down now. 6 to 5 to 4 to 3. You are so relaxed. 2 and 1, and you're totally relaxed. As the elevator doors open, you're going to step into your room of images. This is like a celestial place. It is the most beautiful room you have ever been in. There's nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it. Everything is just phenomenal. The doors open, and now you step into your room of images. This is where you go when you want to be good to you. Now you're finding yourself in a very relaxed place. You're laying down, and you're totally relaxed. Totally relaxed, totally relaxed. You just hear my voice. You hear nothing but my voice. You can actually feel the energy flowing into your being, and your body's becoming more and more relaxed, more and more relaxed. Now, as I put my hands on your shoulder, you're going to feel a charge of energy that is unreal. It's going to move into your body. Every molecule in your body is going to become strong and healthy and alert. The second I put my hands on you, you're going to feel the energy, just like a rush of energy. It's moving into every cell of your being, and your body is becoming stronger and healthier and more relaxed. There, just feel that. Feel that energy flowing into you. It's such a beautiful energy, and it's charging every cell in your being. You have a feeling now of health. There's a dynamic that you're feeling that you have never experienced. You're seeing now that you're going to move into a place of prosperity where money will never be a problem. It's just going to keep fixing itself and going to keep getting better until you are in a marvelous financial situation. It's so good. And your body's becoming healthier and healthier, stronger and stronger. And you're totally relaxed, totally relaxed. You just hear my voice. This beautiful energy is flowing to and through you. And understand every word I'm saying is recorded in your brain. And in a millisecond, you can go back into this magnificent state that you experience right now. You could do it on a crowded subway. You're in charge of you. You are controlling the vibration of the body. Your body is moving into a healthier, more dynamic, more powerful vibration, and you're staying in it constantly. I'm going to put a coin in your hand, and you're going to make certain that coin is with you wherever you go. One side is E. That's the environment. That's thinking the way all people think about almost all things. The other side is the G. And that's where you're working in harmony with God's laws. That's the power for everything there ever was or ever will be. It's flowing to and through you, and it'll give you everything you asked for. You're so totally relaxed, totally relaxed.
So you think you know Wix, but do you really?
So totally relaxed, totally relaxed, totally relaxed. I'm going to put this under your palm on your right hand, and you're going to feel that, and there's a feeling come with it. The G is pressing against your hand. Understand that is a physical instrument that represents an infinite power. That's the Spirit of God flowing to and through you, and it will give you whatever you ask for. It will keep you in an absolutely magnificent, healthy vibration. It will keep you in such a prosperous vibration that your financial situation will continually improve day in, day out. It will keep you in such a wonderful vibration that you will find yourself surrounded by people who are good people, they care, and their friendships like you have never heard of. This is such a magnificent vibration. You attract all things to you that are good. You're in that vibration now. You have let yourself go there. Everything I'm saying is programmed deep into your marvelous mind. Let yourself experience this deep, meaningful feel of gratitude. You're totally relaxed. I'm going to count from 1 to 10. Each time I count a number, you're going to move up. You're going to feel like there's phenomenal charges of energy flowing to and through you. They're just enormous charges of energy. On the count of 10, you're going to open your eyes, you're going to have a smile on your face, you're going to feel like you've had a wonderful rest. Each time I count a number from 1 to 10, new energy will flow into you. It's the most magnificent experience. In everything I've said, everything that is programmed into your mind, it's in cells in your brain. It's there at will. Understand a body cannot be ill in a healthy vibration. Understand a person cannot be poor in a prosperous vibration. Understand a person cannot be alone and lonely when they're in a gregarious, loving relationships vibration. Everything in your life is going to get better for you. Every aspect of it. There's nothing that you could touch that isn't going to improve. Everything's going to improve because you've got that touch. You've got the magic. You're going to do things you never dreamt of. You're so relaxed. It's so powerful. So powerful. So powerful. We're coming up from 1, 2, 3. You're feeling new energy flow into you. It's just coming in from every section of your being, every spot in your body. We're up to 4 and 5. It's a phenomenal energy. You can feel it. It's just lifting you to a higher level. You're up to 6, to 7, to 8. There's a phenomenal power moving into you. It's a feeling like you've never experienced. On the count of 10, you're going to open your eyes as if you feel like you've had a wonderful rest. We're at 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, just relax and let yourself be aware of what we've been doing. We're asking. Ask and you'll receive. What? Whatever you ask for. You ask in the form of thought. Don't ask, talk, or think about anything you don't want. Just ask, think, and receive, graciously receive everything you want. The trick is willingly give and graciously receive. Every aspect of your life. Now, I want you to listen to this often. I want you to listen to it often. I want you to listen to it and understand this is being directed with and through you. And it's going to keep getting stronger. And you're going to live healthier, happier, more fulfilled lives. You're totally relaxed, totally relaxed. I'm going to suggest you listen to this every day. Totally relaxed.
That will last 30 days. Now, it isn't going to be easy. I want you to make a test that will last 30 days. Now, it isn't going to be easy. If you'll give it a good try, it will completely change your life for the better. Back in the 17th century, Sir Isaac Newton, the English mathematician and natural philosopher, gave us some natural laws of physics which apply as much to human beings as they do to the movement of bodies in the universe. Now, one of these laws is that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Simply stated, as it applies to you and me, it means we can achieve nothing without paying the price. The results of your 30-day experiment will be in direct proportion to the effort you put forth. To be a doctor, you must pay the price of long years of difficult study. To be successful in selling, and remember that each of us succeeds to the extent of his ability to sell, selling our families on our ideas, selling education in schools, selling our children on the advantages of living the good and honest life, selling our associates and employees on the importance of being exceptional people, to, of course, the profession of selling itself. But to be successful in selling our way to the good life, we must be willing to pay the price. Now, what is that price? Well, it's many things. First, it's understanding emotionally, as well as intellectually, that we literally become what we think about, that we must control our thoughts if we're to control our lives. It's understanding fully that, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Secondly, it's cutting away all the fetters from the mind and permitting it to soar as it was divinely designed to do. It's the realization that your limitations are self-imposed and that the opportunities for you today are enormous beyond belief. It's rising above narrow-minded pettiness and prejudice. Thirdly, to use all your courage to force yourself to think positively on your own problem, to set a definite and clearly defined goal for yourself, to let your marvelous mind think about your goal from all possible angles, to let your imagination speculate freely upon many different possible solutions, to refuse to believe there are any circumstances sufficiently strong to defeat you in the accomplishment of your purpose, to act promptly and decisively when your course is clear, and to keep constantly aware of the fact that you are, at this moment, standing in the middle of your own acre of diamonds, as Russell Conwell used to point out. Fourth, save at least 10% of what you earn. It's also remembering that no matter what your present job, it has enormous possibilities if you're willing to pay the price. Now let's just go over the important points in the price each of us must pay to achieve the wonderful life that can be ours. It is, of course, worth any price. 1, you will become what you think about. 2, remember the word imagination. Let your mind soar. 3, courage. Concentrate on your goal every day. 4, save 10% of what you earn. And action. Ideas are worthless unless we act on them. Now I'll try to outline the 30-day test I want you to make. Now keep in mind that you have nothing to lose by making this test, and everything you could possibly want to gain. There are 2 things that may be said of everyone. Each of us wants something, and each of us is afraid of something. I want you to write on a card what it is you want more than anything else. It may be more money. Perhaps you'd like to double your income or make a specific amount of money. It may be a beautiful home. It may be success at your job. It may be a particular position in life. It could be a more harmonious family. Each of us wants something. Write down on your card specifically what it is that you want. Make sure it's a single goal and clearly defined. You needn't show it to anyone, but carry it with you so that you can look at it several times a day. Think about it in a cheerful, relaxed, positive way each morning when you get up, and immediately you have something to work for, something to get out of bed for, something to live for. Look at it every chance you get during the day and just before going to bed at night. As you look at it, remember that you must become what you think about. And since you're thinking about your goal, You realize that soon it will be yours. In fact, it's yours really the moment you write it down and begin to think about it. Look at the abundance all around you as you go about your daily business. You have as much right to this abundance as any other living creature. It's yours for the asking. Now we come to the difficult part. Difficult because it means the formation of what is probably a brand new habit, and new habits are not easily formed. Once formed, however, it'll follow you for the rest of your life. Stop thinking about what it is you fear. Each time a fearful or negative thought comes into your consciousness, replace it with a mental picture of your positive and worthwhile goal. There will come times when you will feel like giving up. It's easier for a human being to think negatively than positively. That's why only 5% is successful. You must begin now to place yourself in that group. For 30 days, you must take control of your mind. It will think only about what you permit it to think. Each day for this 30-day test, do more than you have to do. In addition to maintaining a cheerful, positive outlook, give of yourself more than you've ever done before. Do this knowing that your returns in life must be in direct proportion to what you give. The moment you decide on a goal to work toward, you're immediately a successful person. You're then in that rare and successful category of people who know where they're going. Out of every 100 people, you belong to the top 5. Don't concern yourself too much with how you're going to achieve your goal. Leave that completely to a power greater than yourself. All you have to do is know where you're going. The answers will come to you of their own accord. Remember these words from the Sermon on the Mount, and remember them well. Keep them constantly before you this month of your test. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For every one that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. It's as marvelous and as simple as that. In fact, it's so simple that in our seemingly complicated world it's difficult for an adult to understand that all he needs is a purpose and faith. For 30 days, do your best. If you're a salesman, go at it as you've never done before, not in hectic fashion, but with the calm, cheerful assurance that time well spent will give you the abundance in return you deserve and want. If you're a homemaker, devote your 30-day test to complete giving of yourself without thinking about receiving anything in return, and you'll be amazed at the difference it makes in your life. No matter what your job, do it as you've never done it before for 30 days. And if you've kept your goal before you every day, you'll wonder and marvel at this new life you've found. Dorothea Brand, outstanding editor and writer, discovered it for herself and tells about it in her fine book, Wake Up and Live. Her entire philosophy is reduced to the words, act as though it were impossible to fail. She made her own test with sincerity and faith, and her entire life was changed to one of overwhelming success. Now you make your test for 30 full days. Don't start your test until you've made up your mind to stick with it. You see, by being persistent, you're demonstrating faith. Persistence is simply another word for faith. If you didn't have faith, you would never persist. If you should fail during your first 30 days, by that I mean suddenly find yourself overwhelmed by negative thoughts, you've got to start over again from that point and go 30 more days. Gradually, your new habit will form until you find yourself one of that wonderful minority to whom virtually nothing is impossible. Don't forget the card. It's vitally important as you begin this new way of living. On one side of the card, write your goal, whatever it may be. On the other side, write the words we've quoted from the Sermon on the Mount. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. In your spare time during your test period, read books that will help you. Inspirational books like the Bible, Dorothea Brand's Wake Up and Live, The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and other books that instruct and inspire. Nothing great was ever accomplished without inspiration. See that during these crucial first 30 days, your own inspiration is kept at a peak. Above all, Don't worry. Worry brings fear, and fear is crippling. The only thing that can cause you to worry during your test is trying to do it all yourself. Know that all you have to do is hold your goal before you. Everything else will take care of itself. Remember also to keep calm and cheerful. Calm and cheerful. Don't let petty things annoy you and get you off course. Now, since making this test is difficult, some may say, well, why should I bother? Well, look at the alternative. No one wants to be a failure. No one really wants to be a mediocre individual. No one wants a life constantly filled with worry, fear, and frustration. Therefore, remember that you must reap that which you sow. If you sow negative thoughts, your life will be filled with negative things. If you sow positive thoughts, your life will be cheerful, successful, and positive. Now, gradually, you will have a tendency to forget what you've heard on this record. Play it often. Keep reminding yourself of what you must do to form this new habit. Gather your whole family about and listen to what's been said here at regular intervals. You know, most men will tell you that they want to make money without understanding the law. The only people who make money work in the mint. The rest of us must earn money. This is what causes those who keep looking for something for nothing or a free ride to fail in life. The only way to earn money is by providing people with services or products which are needed and useful. We exchange our product or service for the other man's money. Therefore, the law is that our financial return will be in direct proportion to our service. Success is not the result of making money. Making money is the result of success. And success is in direct proportion to our service. Most people have this law backwards. They believe that you're successful if you earn a lot of money. The truth is that you can only earn money after you're successful. It's like the story of the man who sat in front of the stove and said to it, "Give me heat, and then I'll add the wood." How many men and women do you know, or do you suppose there are today, who take the same attitude toward life? There are millions. We've got to put the fuel in before we can expect heat. Likewise, we've got to be of service first before we can expect money. Don't concern yourself with the money. Be of service. Build, work, dream, create. Do this, and you'll find there's no limit to the prosperity and abundance that will come to you. Prosperity is founded upon a law of mutual exchange. Any person who contributes to prosperity must prosper in turn himself. Sometimes the return will not come from those you serve, but it must come to you from someplace, for that is the law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. As you go daily through your 30-day test period, remember that your success will always be measured by the quality and quantity of service you render, and money is a yardstick for measuring this service. No man can get rich himself unless he enriches others. There are no exceptions to a law. You can drive down any street in America and from your car estimate the service that's being rendered by the people living on that street. Had you ever thought of this yardstick before? It's interesting. Some, like ministers and priests and other devoted people, measure their returns in the realm of the spiritual, but again, their returns are equal to their service. Once this law is fully understood, any thinking person can tell his own fortune. If he wants more, he must be of more service to those from whom he receives his return. If he wants less, he has only to reduce this service. This is the price you must pay for what you want. If you believe you can enrich yourself by deluding others, you can only end by deluding yourself. It may take some time, but just as surely as you breathe, you'll get back what you put out. Don't ever make the mistake of thinking you can avert this. It's impossible. The prisons, and the streets where the lonely walk are filled with people who tried to make new laws just for themselves. We may avoid the laws of man, but there are greater laws that cannot be broken. An outstanding medical doctor recently pointed out 6 steps that will help you realize success. 1, set yourself a definite goal. 2, quit running yourself down. 3, stop thinking of all the reasons why you cannot be successful, and instead think of all the reasons why you can. 4, trace your attitudes back through your childhood and try to discover where you first got the idea you couldn't be a success, if that's the way you've been thinking. 5, change the image you have of yourself by writing out a description of the person you would like to be. And 6, act the part of the successful person you have decided to become. The doctor who wrote those words is a noted West Coast psychiatrist, David Harold Fink, M.D. Do what all the experts since the dawn of recorded history have told you you must do. Pay the price by becoming the person you want to become. It's not nearly as difficult as living unsuccessfully. Make your 30-day test. Then repeat it. Then repeat it again. Each time it will become more a part of you until you'll wonder how you could ever have lived any other way. Live this new way, and the floodgates of abundance will open and pour over you more riches than you may have dreamed existed. Money? Yes, lots of it. But what's more important, you'll have peace. You'll be in that wonderful minority who lead calm, cheerful, successful lives. Start today. You have nothing to lose, but you have a life to win.
We take a few minutes now to do the 3 R's exercise, and that is review, rethink, and rewrite. For those who are in my elite club, executive club, and those who are my clients, in your notebooks and or in the book that you have on thinking into results, I want you to review the ideas, review what came down to you, and write down a few things, right? Answer these questions. You review, rethink, and rewrite your goal. And this is going to give you clarity. It's the image, right? The image has to be clear. And you have to give yourself a written description of the goal to be an absolute clarity. If somebody else looks at it, it needs to be clear to them. That's what we're talking about. We need that clarity. A picture of in the mind is to duplicate this image again and again and again. And then we're going to imprint it. If it doesn't bring clarity, you haven't thought about it enough. So now today we're going to finish with reading The Common Denominator of Success by Albert E.N. Gray. This article by itself is phenomenal. So listen up. The authors often refer to the words of Albert E.N. Gray in his speech, The Common Denominator of Success. Years of experience as a successful executive helped Mr. Gray find answers to the questions you have probably asked yourself. Questions like, how can I avoid failure in this new career? How can I manage to succeed in my interesting new profession? Mr. Gray crystallized his thoughts about these common but important doubts that we all experience at some point during our lives, and he incorporated them into a speech called The Common Denominator of Success. We've taken the liberty of submitting a few phrases to help each of us relate to Mr. Gray's remarkable message more personally. Several years ago, I was brought face to face with the very disturbing realization that I was trying to supervise and direct the efforts of a large number of people who were trying to achieve success, without knowing myself what the secret of success really was. And that naturally brought me face to face with the further realization that regardless of whatever other knowledge I might have brought to my job, I was definitely lacking in the most important knowledge of all. Of course, like most of us, I had been brought up on the popular belief that the secret of success is hard work. But I had seen so many people work hard without succeeding, and so many people succeed without working hard, that I had become convinced that hard work was not the real secret, even though in most cases it might be one of the requirements. And so I set out on a voyage of discovery, which carried me through biographies and autobiographies and all sorts of dissertations on success and the lives of successful people, until I finally reached the point at which I realized that the secret I was trying to discover lay not only in what people did, but also in what made them do it. I realized further that the secret for which I was searching must not only apply to every definition of success, but since it must apply to everyone to whom it was offered, it must also apply to everyone who had ever been successful. In short, I was looking for the common denominator of success. And because that is exactly what I was looking for, that's exactly what I found. But that common denominator of success is so big, so powerful, and so vitally important to your future and mine that I'm not going to make a speech about it. I'm just going to lay it on the line in words of one syllable, so simple that anybody can understand them. The common denominator of success, the secret of success of every person who has ever been successful, lies in the fact that they formed the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. It is just as true as it sounds, and it's just as simple as it seems. You can hold it up to the light, you can put it to the acid test, and you can kick it around until it's worn out. But when you are all through with it, it will still be the common denominator of success, whether we like it or not. It will still explain why people have gone into a business or profession with every apparent qualification for success and have been nothing but disappointing failures, while others have achieved outstanding success in spite of many obvious handicaps. And since it will also explain your future, it would seem to be a mighty good idea for you to use it in determining just what sort of future you are going to have. In other words, let's take this big, all-embarrassing secret and boil it down to fit you. If the secret of success lies in forming the habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do, let's start the boiling down process by determining what are the things that failures don't like to do. The things that failures don't like to do are the things that you and I and other human beings, including successful people, naturally don't like to do. In other words, we've got to realize right from the start that success is something which is achieved by the minority of people, and is therefore unnatural, and not to be achieved by following our natural likes and dislikes, nor by being guided by our natural preferences and prejudices. The things that failures don't like to do in general are too many and too obvious for us to discuss them here. And so, since our success in every endeavor lies in our ability to persuade others to do what we would like them to do, let's move on to a discussion of the things we don't like to do. Here, too, the things we don't like to do are too many to permit a specific discussion, but I think they can all be disposed of by saying that they all emanate from one basic dislike, common to all of us. We don't like to talk to people about something they might not want to talk about. Any reluctance to approach someone to suggest a chance in their activity to persuade them to take a new approach is caused by this one basic dislike. Perhaps you have wondered what is behind this peculiar lack of welcome on the part of those we're trying to persuade. Isn't it due to the fact that our prospects are human too? And isn't it true that the average human being is highly resistant to change, even when it's for their own improvement, and is therefore prone to escape our efforts to persuade them to do something they don't want to do by striking at the most important weakness we possess, namely our desire to be appreciated? Perhaps you've been discouraged by a feeling that you were born subject to certain dislikes peculiar to you, with which people are not afflicted. Perhaps you have wondered why it is that those who accomplish most seem to like to do the things they won't like to do. They don't. And I think this is the most important and encouraging statement I have ever offered any person. But if they don't like to do these things, then why do they do them? Because by doing the things they don't like to do, they can accomplish the things they want to accomplish. Now, let me repeat that. Successful people are influenced by the desire for pleasing results. Failures are influenced by the desire for pleasing methods and are inclined to be satisfied with such results as can be obtained by doing things they like to do. Why are successful people able to do things they don't like to do while failures are not? Because successful people have a purpose strong enough to make them form the habit of doing things they don't like to do in order to accomplish the purpose they want to accomplish. Sometimes even the best producers get into a slump. When a person gets into a slump, it simply means that they have reached a point at which, for the time being, the things they don't like to do have become more important than their reasons for doing them. Many people with whom I have discussed this common denominator of success have said at this point, but I have a family to support and I have to have a living for my family and myself. Isn't that enough of a purpose? No, it isn't. It isn't sufficiently a strong purpose to make you form the habit of doing the things that you don't like to do. For the very simple reason that it is easier to adjust ourselves to the hardships of a poor living than it is to adjust ourselves to the hardships of making a better one. If you doubt me, just think of all the things you are willing to go without in order to avoid doing the things you don't like to do. All of which seems to prove that the strength that holds you to your purpose is not your own strength, but the strength of the purpose itself. Now, let's see why habit belongs so importantly in this common denominator of success. People are creatures of habit, just as machines are creatures of momentum. For habit is nothing more or less than momentum translated from the concrete into the abstract. Can you picture the problem that would face our mechanical engineers if there were no such thing as momentum? Speed would be impossible because of the highest speed at which any vehicle could be moved would be the first speed at which it could be broken away from a standstill. Elevators could not be made to rise, airplanes could not be made to fly, and the entire world of mechanics would find itself in a total state of helplessness. Then who are you and I to think that we can do with our own human nature what the finest engineers in the world could not do with the finest machinery that was ever built? Every single qualification for success is acquired through habit. People form habits and habits form futures. People form habits and habits form futures. If you do not deliberately form good habits, then unconsciously you will form bad ones. You are the kind of person you are because you have formed the habit of being that kind of person. And the only way you can change is through changing habits. The success habit for any area of achievement can be divided into four main groups: contacting habits, calling habits, persuading habits, working habits. Let's discuss these habit groups in their order. Any successful person will tell you that if it's easier to persuade someone to a particular course of action than to find someone who already wants to do it. But if you have not deliberately formed the habit of contacting those who need what you're offering, regardless of their wants, then unconsciously you have formed the habit of limiting your contacts to those people who already want what you have to offer. And therein lies the one and only reason for a lack of interested contacts. As to calling habits, unless you have deliberately formed the habit of calling on people who are able to do what you want them to do, but who may be unwilling to listen, then unconsciously you have formed the habit of calling on people who are willing to listen but unable to do what you want them to do. As to persuasion habits, unless you have deliberately formed the habit of calling on people, determined to help them see why it is in their best interest to take a particular course of action, then unconsciously you have formed the habit of calling on people while you are in a state of mind in which you are willing to let them make you see the reason or not going along with you. As to working habits, if you will take care of the other three groups, the working habits will generally take care of themselves. Because under working habits are included study and preparation, organization of time and efforts, records, analysis, etc. Certainly, you're not going to take the trouble to learn the best approach to your presentation unless you're going to use it. You're not going to plan your day's activities when you know in your heart that you're not going to carry out your plans. And you're certainly not going to keep an honest record of things you haven't done or of results you haven't achieved. So let's not worry so much about the fourth group of success habits. Because if you are taking care of the first three groups, most of the working habits will take care of themselves. But before you decide to adopt these success habits, let me warn you of the importance of habit to your decision. I have attended many sales meetings and rallies during the past years and have often wondered why. In spite of the fact that there's so much good in them, so many people seem to get so little lasting good out of them. Perhaps you have attended sales meetings in the past and have left these meetings determined to do the things that would make you successful or more successful, only to find your decision or determination waning at just the time when it should be put into effect or practice. Here's the answer. Any resolution or decision you make is simply a promise to yourself that isn't worth a tinker's damn until you have formed the habit of making it and keeping it. And you won't form the habit of making it and keeping it unless, right at the start, you link it with a definite purpose that can be accomplished by keeping it. In other words, any resolution or decision you make today has to be made again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and so on. And it not only has to be made each day, but it has to be kept each day. For if you miss one day in the making or keep keeping it, you've got to go back and begin all over again. But if you continue the process of making it each morning and keeping it each day, you will finally wake up some morning a different person in a different world, and you will wonder what has happened to you and the world you used to live in. Here's what has happened. Your resolution or decision has become a habit, and you don't have to make it on this particular morning. And the reason for you seeming like a different person living in a different world lies in the fact that for the first time in your life, you have become master of yourself and master of your likes and dislikes by surrendering to your purpose in life. That is why behind every success, there must be a purpose. And that is what makes purpose so important to your future. For in the last analysis, your future is not going to depend on economic conditions or outside influences or circumstances over which you have no control. Your future is going to depend on your purpose in life. So let's talk about purpose. First of all, your purpose must be practical and not visionary. Some time ago, I talked with a man who thought he had a purpose that was more important to him than income. He was interested in the sufferings of his fellow man, and he wanted to be placed in a position to alleviate that suffering. But when we analyzed his real feelings, we discovered, and he admitted it, that what he really wanted was a really nice job, dispensing charity with other people's money and being well paid for it, along with the appreciation and feeling of importance that would naturally go with such a job. But in making your purpose practical, be careful not to make it logical. Make it a purpose of the sentimental or emotional type. Remember that needs are logical, while wants and desires are sentimental and emotional. Your needs will push you just so far. But when your needs are satisfied, they will stop pushing you. If, however, your purpose is in terms of wants and desires, then your wants and desires will keep pushing you long after your needs are satisfied and until your wants and desires are fulfilled. Recently, I was talking with a young man who long ago discovered the common denominator of success without identifying his discovery. He had a definite purpose in life, and it was definitely a sentimental or emotional purpose. He wanted his boy to go through college without having to work his way through as he had done. He wanted to avoid for his little girl the hardships that his own sister had to face in her childhood. And he wanted his wife to enjoy the luxuries and comforts and even necessities which had been denied his own mother. And he was willing to form the habit of doing things he didn't like to do in order to accomplish this purpose. Not to discourage him, but rather to have him encourage me, I said to him, "Aren't you going a little too far with this thing? There's no logical reason why your son shouldn't be willing to work his way through college, just as his father did. Of course, he'll miss many of the things that you missed in your college life, and he'll probably have heartaches and disappointments. But if he's any good, he'll come through in the end, just as you did. And there's no logical reason why you should slave in order that your daughter may have the things which your own sister wasn't able to have, or in order that your wife can enjoy comforts and luxuries that she wasn't used to before she married you." He looked at me with rather a pitying look and said, "But there's no inspiration in logic. There's no courage in logic. There's not even happiness in logic. There's only satisfaction. The only place logic has in my life is in the realization that the more I am willing to do for my wife and children, the more I shall be able to do for myself." I imagine after hearing that story, you won't have to be told how to find your purpose or how to identify it or how to surrender to it. If it's a big purpose, you will be big in its accomplishment. If it's an unselfish purpose, you will be unselfish in accomplishing it. And if it is an honest purpose, you will be honest and honorable in the accomplishment of it. But as long as you live, don't ever forget that while you may succeed beyond your fondest hopes and your greatest expectations, you will never succeed beyond the purpose to which you are willing to surrender. Furthermore, your surrender will not be complete until you have formed the habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do. The common denominator of success. Beautiful, beautiful article. It's really remarkable. If you really want it and you want to talk to me, reach out. This would really set you free, and you're on your way. Thanks again for listening. If you like what you heard, share, like, and comment. And I look forward to serving you again. If this is of interest to you, I'd be more than happy to serve.